Hello there, Scorpio, and welcome to your reading with Molly, the Starkid at Starkidignited. This is going to be a part 1, so your general messages, and then part 2 on Patreon down below. We'll look in more detail at love, career, and money and finances. So oftentimes part 1's a bit of an overview, and then we go into more detail over in part 2. Yeah, make sure you take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't make something fit if it's not for you. I hope that this reading does resonate for you, and make sure that you like the video. Leave a comment if you're feeling called to, and feel free to share this with anyone else who you think would benefit from the messages. But with saying that, let's jump in, Scorpio. So thank you so much for being here, and let's see what Spirit wants to bring through for you for these next 30 days. These messages are always timeless, so whenever you're attracted to watch this video is the right time to receive its messages. Spirit, what do you have for Scorpio? What would you... Okay, Scorpio, so we get endurance, keep going. So you might be going through something that's been quite difficult lately, where you've really had to, use every ounce of strength and resilience that you have to just be able to keep going. We'll see what else Spirit wants to say. So is there anything further than mermaids want to say to Scorpio for these next 30 days, Spirit? Ooh, okay. Okay, cool. All right. And we get divination. And at the bottom of the deck, I was called to look at it, we also get sacrifice. Okay, Scorpio, so it looks like you might be leaving a situation where you're required to sacrifice a lot of yourself just to keep the wheels turning, just to keep that relationship or that work situation or living situation or whatever it may have been, to allow it to keep flourishing. You're having to sacrifice greater and greater amounts of yourself, things that you wanted, opinions you had, just like parts of yourself were needing to be sacrificed in order for that harmony to be reached, or for that relationship to kind of keep its head above water. It feels like with the endurance card swimming away from the sacrifice card, that you've been putting a lot of time, energy, and effort into getting yourself into a better situation, to getting yourself away from something that takes so much of you, that doesn't give to you, it just depletes you. And it might have been quite quite taxing, and it feels like really like it's really ripped you apart a little bit, Scorpio, because to have someone who, or something that's constantly draining you, taking your energy, and then having to almost double down and give twice as much energy to get away from that thing and to keep going and to swim in another direction. I can see why Spirit is reminding you that keep going, like what you're swimming towards will be better than what you're leaving behind. There is wonderful things out there for you, and the mermaids are with you in this moment as well, telling you that this card talks about, like, they know how hard it is, they know how difficult it can be, but using all that strength in your tail, in your body, in your just with your own like spiritual soulful self, to muster up that strength, muster up that courage, and to keep going, to keep getting yourself into calmer waters. And then we get divination, and so going from like really swimming all out to someone that's quite has the time that they need, is able to sit and ponder, and it feels like you're creating a much deeper relationship with your psychic self, Scorpio. This card talks about prophecy, fate, destiny, and future fortune. Oh my god, that's like, okay, cool. So whatever you're moving towards is going to be fortuitous. There's fortune coming. There is a lot of destiny and fate in what's going on. So potentially whatever the situation was, you had a soul contract coming into this life to experience something, to go through something that challenged you and might have made you put someone else before yourself, I just felt. But this situation now, where you're having to work so hard to fight for yourself, to go towards things that you truly want, and to tap into now your more soulful psychic self, to have more access to those parts of yourself, like especially when we've been in a situation with someone else that takes so much from us, it kind of often like cuts us off from a lot of the outside world when someone is requiring so much from us. And while this can be quite destructive, that, you know, it's easy to fall through the cracks when no one else is there to see what's going on, it also like puts you into a very you know, it's just you and you in those kinds of situations. It puts you into a much deeper, raw relationship with yourself, where you're needing to really rely on yourself to know yourself, to get through that situation. And I think that is also where, like, you know, psychic abilities, clairvoyance, clairaudience, being able to feel into things, figuring out how to heal yourself, how to look at things that other people wouldn't dare to look at, and to find healing, or to find the depth and the truth in that thing. So it does feel like you've been on a really deep inner journey, and as you endure through this process, you keep moving forward, you keep getting out of something that doesn't suit you, you're going to land yourself in a place where, you know, you're moving towards your true destiny. You might have felt like you could prophesize this time. You can see it in your third eye, what is coming towards you, or what it is that you're truly seeking now, and you're not letting anything hold you back. You know, you've done that game. You've spent the time sacrificing for someone else, thinking that maybe that's what you're meant to do. And now this time it feels like, okay, like, what is my destiny? What is my fate? And what is the fortune in the future that I'm calling into being, that I'm moving towards, and no one can stop me from that. Okay, so let's get some emotions cards, Scorpio. Yeah, okay. How is Scorpio feeling at this time, Spirit? Okay. And is there anything else? Cool. And any final card that emotionally that wants to come. Okay, wow. All right. So we've got a few cards for you. The first ones, we got a giant clam with harmony and reef with abundance. So it does feel like you're going towards something that's going to be a lot more harmonious. That with the giant clam, it's a symbiotic relationship where the algae cleans the clam, and the clam needs to keep its mouth open to keep the algae alive. So they look after each other. They support one another to be their best versions. And it feels like that's what you're moving towards. That's the kind of relationships and partnerships and support, work relationships even, that you're wanting to go towards. You want someone to recognize your beauty, your talent, your power, and rather than be intimidated by it and try and take from you, to rise to the challenge and to really meet you there, and to work with you, complementing each other to go even further, to create something even bigger. With reef and abundance, there is so much abundance around you. There are so many opportunities, resources, things that you can access and utilize to your best benefit, and also that are going to come into play as a harmonious aspect with you, adding more to your life without it becoming overwhelming, but rather it's supporting and feeling like this flourishing where you have more than enough and you can share, and there's a lot of opportunity for collaboration and working together well with people. Okay, and then the other two cards that we get is Orca with communication, and Starfish 33 with symbols. And we actually have an 11 here, so another master number. So 11s, 33s could be popping up for you a lot in these next 30 days. And remember this portion of the reading when you see them, that you're moving toward harmony and abundance. And with the starfish with symbols, Spirit is trying to give you as many symbols, synchronicities, and just like supportive messaging to show you that you're going in the right direction, to really assist you in moving past whatever this self-sacrificing thing was. And I think Spirit knows how heavy on your heart this has been, and that's why they're coming through to try to communicate with you as much as they can. Now with orcas and communication, you may be feeling like, you know, you don't have a lot of people to talk to right now, or that like you're wanting to move toward a space where you are able to communicate more clearly, where you can get things off your chest and really be understood for your heart and soul, rather than yeah, having to dumb yourself down or to minimize your own opinions, your own beliefs, your own ideas to make someone else feel comfortable. It also feels like, you know, I think you're really searching for family. Like orcas, they move around in pods, and I believe that they're led by a matriarch. So you might be a feminine, and someone who really wants to find like a soul family where you can really communicate with, that you can be yourself with, to feel like, you know, a lot of bad bitches supporting each other. Obviously, if you're male, it could be a similar energy where you might have had a mother figure or a sister, someone who was like a powerful matriarch in your family, and looking for that similar kind of connection, someone who's powerful, who meets you in your own power and isn't intimidated, and you can communicate clearly with and kind of travel the world with. But yeah, communications are coming up strongly here, as are communications from spirit through symbolism. So that is likely the way that you're going to divine and understand more exactly what the path is that you're meant to be taking. Spirit is going to communicate with you with these symbols in all kinds of different ways. So be open to anything. But obviously, Scorpio, if you want to give Spirit, like, you know, a set list of things that they can show you, like, hey, show me a rose when like something when a love's coming into my life that is trustworthy. Show me a daisy if there's a love that's coming in that looks really good but that isn't trustworthy. Like, you can create the language with spirit as you see fit, and they will use those symbols to communicate with you more and to really allow you to feel supported and loved and spoken to, especially on this journey that you're on right now, where you're really your strength is being tested and you're having to keep going even when it's difficult. Okay, so let's see what your tarot has to say, Scorpio. If you guys are liking this message, please like the video and please leave a comment. It really helps. Even if you just leave like a little love heart just to show that you watched it, I'll really appreciate it. Thanks, Scorpio. All right, so let's see. How is Scorpio showing up right now? Okay. All right, so we get the Hanged Man. Yeah, and so the Hanged Man is all about seeing things from a different perspective, from surrendering to the situation that's happening to you, no longer fighting, and allowing this like delay, this suspension that's happening, this you know, like a lot happens in the cards before the Hanged Man. We have, what is it? The Wheel of Fortune and Justice. So fast moving energy, then this like you know, like decisive karmic law kind of coming in. So like it's like a lot of chaos, then something happens and we're thrown into this state where we're needing to stop, and we're kind of like hung upside down, having to wait, having to you know, everything's kind of turned on its head. And it's the card that precedes the Death card, which is a Scorpio card. So there could easily have been a death that's happened here, because oftentimes when we see the Death card, the death's already happened. Whereas with the Hanged Man, it's like we're still in that energy. This thing's still dying off. We're still having to understand like the situation and ourselves from a new perspective, so that we can really accept what's old and what's decaying and allow it to be, and to really flourish into this new version of ourselves, or let the situation transform. So yeah, it feels like lots of heavy energy that you've been going through, Scorpio, but there is an enlightenment coming, and there is going to be a compassionate, you know, wonderful like transmutation of the heavy feelings into something light and something deeply soulful that you can use, that you can move forward with. But it does take that higher perspective. Now, what's challenging you right now, Scorpio? We got the 10 of Wands. So there's a massive burden that has been put on you lately, and it is something that is ready to be left behind. Coming out as a challenge, I don't think you feel comfortable putting these burdens down. It might be something that you're so used to. You're so used to putting yourself second, so used to looking after everybody. But when the 10 of Wands comes, it's a 10, which means it's a completion of the cycle. You've learned everything you've needed to learn by carrying these burdens for other people. You know, these aren't 10 of his sticks. They are other people's as well as his own. And as you can see, he's just being completely depleted. He can hardly move forward towards his town, trying to like carry this like giant bundle. And the message here is, you know, being challenged to relinquish and release that which is not serving you anymore. To realize how many of those things were never even yours to carry, that other people put on you, that situations put on you. Again, like maybe feeling like you had to sacrifice yourself and do these things because other people put you down, or they made you feel like that was your only worth. And Spirit is trying to get you to see a different perspective now, to let it go and to realize that, one, you're a superstar and you have superpowers to be able to withstand so much and still be so strong and powerful. But you can relinquish them, and you can now use the powers and the talents and the lessons that you learned from that situation to fuel you, but to be 10 times lighter on your feet, to not carry around those burdens that aren't yours to carry. Okay, what was the leading up energy to this, Spirit? What was the past energy that led Scorpio to this? Okay, so we get, there was new love. So there was a new love opportunity that was introduced, but then we get justice. So there could have been some kind of like karmic justice that came through because of a new love, or potentially as well, this could have been that, yeah, in the past, like new love has been offered to you because something happened in the situation where Spirit saw things that you couldn't see. Spirit, you know, like someone was creating their own karma, was creating their own, like, you reap what you sow type of energy. And something came to light where Spirit had to, you know, what's the word? Put the gavel down, like to say like, okay, enough's enough. This is what's been going on. And to offer you a new opportunity in love. Okay. And what's the upcoming energy for Scorpio, Spirit? What is in their highest and best? Yeah, okay, cool. And I get the Page of Wands. So it's like leaving those 10 heavy ones behind and remembering that like you only have like, there's only one passion that you need to be, well, burden, but it's like it's not even a burden for him at this point. There's only one that you need to be carrying around, and it's something that inspires you, that encourages you, that makes you feel passionate and excited and adventurous about life. He's the youngest energy in this fire suit, and so he doesn't have any responsibilities. He doesn't have a lot of people like pulling on his energy. He's free to go and follow something that makes him happy and excited and full of life and full of spunk and full of spark. So that, I see, that's really beautiful, Scorpio. Like your energy coming up is going to be releasing all these burdens, understanding things from a different perspective, where you give yourself permission to move forward and to move forward towards something that makes you excited and happy. And you deserve that. Okay, let's see what Archangel Michael has and Scorpio's higher self. What advice do you have for Scorpio during this time? What is going to be practical, uplifting advice? What is the highest and best message for them? Okay, you got a few. All right. So your first card, Scorpio, is don't settle for less. And I think we've definitely, I feel like you're on that page right now, but I think even leaving the situation in the past, it's a good thing to remember not to be settling for less, to give yourself the time to really realize just how valuable you are, and to, you know, get a few offers before you make a decision on something. So don't settle for less. You are a child of the divine, and you deserve to have your dreams come true. Don't give up. Beautiful. We get pray from your heart with a little grandmother there. This says prayer really can move mountains. Reach out to the divine with your heart's concerns and watch miracles unfold. Pray and say out loud what it is you truly want. I've been doing that a lot lately. where if I'm at my wit's end, I'll just say like, Source, please help with this. Please step in, you know, and it's crazy how things can work out, how things can come together when you know, you cast that spell out there. Your next card is You Are Protected, Scorpio. You are safe within my bubble of light. You can proceed with confidence. So Archangel Michael is surrounding you with protection. And your final card for this reading, and then we're going to jump over to part 2, is Make a Decision. And so this talks about the heart, the mind with the sword, and a feather with spirit. So whatever draws your attention more can give you an indication of what that decision, you know, what part of yourself has got the answer to make that decision. Like, is your heart really calling out for something? Is spirit really coming through to give you an answer? Or is your mind really trying to, you know, provide that answer for you? So this says, are you choosing to prioritize yourself or another person in this situation? Accept divine guidance pointing you towards your joy. You deserve it. And especially with the scales, the fact that we got that Justice card, it's like no longer putting that person above yourself, realizing that you deserve everything that you truly want, for all your dreams and desires to come true. And as soon as you choose that path, Spirit gets to start creating that reality for you and bringing in those opportunities. Okay, so I'm going to jump over to part 2. Thank you guys so much for being here. I love you so much, Scorpio. Please remember to like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I would love to have you over here. Yeah, and until next time, look after yourself, guys. Bye.